First of all, what's your name?
John M. Hesseltine, AWS Senior Certified Welding Inspector for Metropolitan Steel.
That's right. Cool.
Woo-hoo.
So how did you start your career in this field, and what drew you to it?
Well, I was a young punk, got married real early in life. Wife got pregnant, and so I had to find a real good job real fast. Started with Brown and Root down in Padre Island, Texas, building offshore drilling rigs. We built stuff up to 27,000 tons, 1,000 foot of water depth. Some of the biggest rigs that ever made it in the world at the time. So yeah, that's how I started.
Cool. And how did you get here?
Well, the wife was a Yankee girl, so she had come down to Texas to meet a cowboy when we were in college. So I was the first redneck she ran into with a big belt buckle and boots on. She latched hold of me, and we've been together ever since. And she drugged me all the way up here eventually.
And how did you get with Metro?
Metro, I've known Metro for a while. We did business back when when I was with Shoko Steelworks, the fabricator, and we hired Metro when they first started. So we got to know Red and Tim pretty well through our business associations down there. And then after Shoko went out of business, I went and moved on. I ended up working for an engineering firm, Orbital Engineering, out of Hammond. So I was out there and really didn't care for what I was doing. And Red called me up one day, said, "How you doing? We need a little." He was looking for a little information or something, and we got to talking. He says, "How do you like working for him?" I said, "Eh." He goes, "Well, you want to come to work for us?" I said, "Yeah, I guess I would. What the hell?"
What are some of your most memorable or proudest achievements?
Well, of course, my kids are my proudest achievements. It's the way that, just like everybody else,
Yeah.
all three of my kids are very good kids. They're very successful. They're very independent. I guess kicking them out of the house, and the best way to get rid of your kids when it's time for them to go is to not have food in the house. So if you get rid of all the food in the house, it's like kicking them out the nest. And then they go and make their own. And they've done well for themselves. I'm very proud of my kids. More, of anything else, my home life has been my whole life. So, I mean, work is great, but family is everything. As far as everything else, I've just gained a lot of experience, done a lot of different things in the field, done offshore rigs, structural steel, done stuff for FedEx, pans and forming, and just it's a never-ending learning situation in this business. You can go in any different direction and pick up and do more stuff. So it just never ends.
But you were pretty big into AWS too. I mean, isn't that?
I was a previous chairman for the Chicago section. I've served with them for about 7 years now. So I've served on the executive board. I was a previous chairman, and I just retired as the treasurer for the Chicago section. I was also part of what they called a CWI summit, where they sent me to headquarters in Florida, along with a handful of other CWIs across the nation, and we had our little hoorah and discussed being CWIs in general and what the field needs to be, and yeah. So I was honored to be one of the few they selected to go to Florida to participate in that. That was pretty cool.
What advice would you give someone who's just starting out in the field?
Study all you can and learn everything you can from the guys that are on their way out. Pick their brains, learn everything you can from them, and then stay up with the times. Times are very quickly changing. Stay up with the codes, stay up with all the written information that's out there. It's a constantly changing business, and in order to compete and survive, you got to stay up to date with everything. So learn everything you can. That's all I can say.
So what are you most looking forward to in retirement?
Everything. Doing anything and everything I want to do, and all the time in the world to do it with. I've got a lot of hobbies. I got a lot of things I want to see and do. and hopefully we'll get all that in and get some of it. Maybe we'll even come up with a few new hobbies. Who knows? I've always wanted to do some surfing again.
What do you hope to be most remembered for in your professional life?
My association with AWS and serving with the Chicago section board. That's been, I guess, one of the top things I've ever done. And like I said, being invited to a national thing, which only very few people were invited to, that was probably my best success.
Is there anything you'd like to say to colleagues, team members on your way out here, or any message, parting thoughts?
I'd just like to say I appreciate everybody. This place has been as much of a family as any places I've ever been. People have always gotten, everybody's really good coworkers. Are just great to work for. It's just like almost like a brother-sister relationship sometimes with some of the people, and everybody gets along very well. Everybody's understanding, and I'd be hard-pressed to find any place that's been as good to work for as Metropolitan, especially Tim and Red. Probably some of the best, most understanding bosses and owners I've ever worked for. So I appreciate the time. Looking back, and this was actually probably, I can't think of a better way to close out my career than being here with all the people here. So it's pretty cool.
Cool. All right. I think that's just about it.
That's about
That's
it.
good. Yeah. Anything else?
Well,
Any last
no,
things?
Just thank you, everybody. I appreciate all your time and your lives, and we'll be thinking about you, and we'll be coming back to visit once in a while. So happy retirement.
Congrats, John.
Thank you, buddy.